Hello viewers, welcome back to the Tech Zone with another informative video. Today we are going to discuss the Sony Mirrorless cameras errors and their solutions. So let's start. So error 1 which we are going to discuss is the camera error turn power off then on. The error can appear when you are turning on your camera or soon after the boot up process completes. It might also happen right in the middle of a shoot, which might be quite inconvenient, though there are lots of reasons why it can happen. One of the most common has to do with shutter problems. Moreover, a good number of Sony mirrorless cameras have the in-body image stabilization IBIS system. For such cameras, the cause of the problem could have to do with IBIS or a sensor stabilization malfunctions. A third probable cause could be an electronic circuit problem, and in this case it will likely appear right at the startup. A final cause of the problem could be an accident. Accidents range from impact and dropping to moisture, water, liquid damage, and the connection of incorrect power sources leading to short circuiting. So the solution of these problems are: first, you might notice that when the message appears, the camera may lock. Consequently, when you try to power it off, the message will likely remain on the screen. To turn it off, simply turn the power button to the off position and then remove the battery or disconnect the power. The first solution to do what the camera is telling you: switch off then on. If the cause was a stuck shutter, turning the camera off and on will make it reset and work properly. Similarly, the action will resolve an error resulting from IBIS malfunctions. In case the error message still appears after the power cycle, you could try resetting the camera. Go to the menu and find the setting tab. However, if the camera is still frozen, you cannot access the menu and reset it. You may just have to visit the repair center if that is the case, or if after power cycling it works for a while, then shows the error message again. Error number 2, unable to display. Another common error on this type of camera is the unable to display image error. Some of the causes of this error including using the same memory card on multiple devices, stuffing the memory card beyond the required limit, interfering with the memory card while it is in use, inappropriate ejection or insertion of the memory card, virus interruption on the device hindering functionality. Now that you have a clue on the probable causes of the error, let us go through some possibilities on how to recover images and resolve the error. To start with, try to capture new images and try viewing it. In case you are unable to view them, you might need to format the SD card in camera. But if the new images display without a hitch, the problem might be your old images. You might then try to use photo repairs software to fix them and resolve the error. Another option is to export the images to an editing app in JPEG, PNG, or even BMP. After exporting them, try to open and save them afresh. After you transfer or export the images, format the SD card, reload them, then check if the same error message appears. If the issue persists, reset applications by going to setting, application, reset, app preferences. In case this tool does not work, clear data for album application. To do so, go to setting, application, all, then select albums and then clear data. After you apply the changes, restart the camera and open images, then save them in the desired location. Error number 3, cannot recognize lens, attach it properly error. The above error identifies the problem, but how you resolve it? The first and most logical step would be to check the camera lens connection. Take into consideration that the camera will not be able to communicate with the lens unless there is a contact. Contact should be between the metal pins on the camera body and those on the lens. To check this connection, first power off the camera, then detach the lens from the body of the camera. Then you will need to examine the metal contacts on both the lens and the camera body. Once you understand how they should attach, reattach them. Note that marking on the lens should align with the marking on the body of the camera. Once they align, you need to turn clockwise lightly until you hear a click. Power the camera on and check if the error has been resolved. In case the error message still appears and the lens you are using is from a different manufacturer, there could be a compatibility issue. Notably, though, even in the absence of communication between the lens and the camera, you can still take photos. The only thing you will not access are autofocus and auto exposure. To take photos, simply set the camera to manual and then manually set the desired features. These include the shutter speed, ISO, aperture, and focus. Error number 4 is camera overheating. Even though this camera is a reliable device, it could at times stall due to overheating. This often takes place when you shoot on a video continuous shooting mode. In such cases, the internal components of the camera might generate so much heat that they risk damaging the camera. To avoid such an eventuality, the camera sends the above error message when the temperature of internal components rises above a set limit. When you get this message, it is best to turn off the device for between 10 and 15 minutes. That could be ample time to allow everything on the inside to cool down to acceptable level. Error number 5 is incompatible battery. Once again, this is a self-explanatory error message. If the battery pack you have on your camera is not compatible, you need to replace it. However, if you are certain that the battery you have is correct, the message could mean that the battery is malfunctioning. Here is what to do in this case. Check battery terminals. If there is dirt or grime on them, this could be causing the malfunction. Use a clean, dry cloth to wipe them off. Take care not to touch the terminals with metal objects or your hands. If possible, change batteries and check whether the message clears. If none of the options solve the issue, it might be time to visit the repair center. Error number 6, card error. You will get this error message when the memory card you have on the device is incompatible, but that does not necessarily mean you need to replace the card. Rather, all you need to do to resolve it to format the memory card. Take care to use in-camera formatting rather than doing on a PC. Note that if there are any media on the card, therefore take a backup of it if you have important photos or videos on it. Error number 7, no lens attached and shutter is locked. When you get this message, it implies that your camera locked the shutter. The reason for this is that for some reason it thinks that you have not attached the lens. If this is so, easiest solution is to attach a lens. However, in most cases, you may already have a lens in place and still get the images. One of the possible reasons for this could have to do with the contacts between the lens and the camera. To confirm whether this, put the camera in the cleaning mode. If it responds by opening the shutter, the error may have to do with the contacts. Check on the camera body using a different lens to rule it out. On some mirrorless models, you can override the check for lens present by activating manual mode. If yours does not, try to override the release without having lens interlocking. Error number 8, no memory card inserted. Another error message similar to the previous one has to do with the locked shutter, which results from memory card issues. One issue could be incompatibility arising from the fact that the memory card was previously formatted on a different camera. The solution is simply to format the memory card in camera and check if the error resolves. In other case, it could be that the memory card is locked and is thus not visible on the camera. Remove it and check the lock switch. If it is locked, switch it back on. A third possibility could have to do with the metal pins that provides contact between the camera and the memory card. Once again, you will need to remove the card, then use a cleaning solution to wipe the contacts clean. Error number 9, system error. When you see system error on your camera, the problem is unspecified, but it is serious enough that the camera cannot function before you address it. You need to turn the camera off, remove the battery, and then turn it back on. That is a reset and should normally fix the issues. However, if the problem is more serious, it may want a longer break. So repeat the reset process, but this time you need to leave the battery out for a minimum of 1 hour. In case the error message persists or keeps resurfacing time and again, it may be time to visit a repair center. So that's all for today. I hope you will find the solution of your camera problem. If you are facing any other issue which we have not addressed, please mention in the comment section. Thanks for watching Tech Zone.